Self-improvement is often hailed as a journey of continuous growth. Yet despite all the research, effort, and routines one might adopt, there's an unsettling problem many face. We diligently build habits, break old patterns, and start feeling progress. But then out of nowhere, those same negative habits, thoughts, and distractions we fought hard to leave behind start creeping back. It's as if the very things we freed ourselves from return to pull us back before. Long days, weeks, or even months pass with little to no real progression. For anyone genuinely invested in creating a better life, this lack of visible progress can feel terrifying, especially when the setbacks seem to be lurking around the corner, ready to strike without warning. In this video, we'll explore this frustrating barrier, why it occurs, and most importantly, how to overcome it. The aim is to identify the patterns that keep us from sustained improvement and to break through that glass ceiling, keeping us from reaching our potential. This isn't just about beating an obstacle, but about realizing a life where our best self isn't just a goal, it's our reality. Understanding the true meaning of self-improvement can be a revelation. It isn't just about the specific actions, whether it's taking cold showers, hitting the gym, meditating, or hustling for more success. These actions are tools, and tools without a strong framework guiding their use can be ineffective. Our journey starts with a reevaluation of what it truly means to evolve and develop in a lasting way. People often think their goals are the end-all, be-all: make a certain amount of money, attract a perfect partner, quit an addiction, or break a bad habit. But focusing on these targets alone can mislead us. We're often so consumed with chasing quick hacks or motivational boosts that we lose sight of what truly matters, becoming the person who can achieve these goals. In reality, true self-improvement lies not in obsessing over results, but in the transformation from our current self to our ideal self. The ideal self isn't just a vision of who we want to be, but a version of us who possesses the traits, habits, and beliefs necessary to reach our aspirations and live the life we deeply desire. Our current self is a powerful part of who we are, driving 95% of our thoughts, decisions, and actions through subconscious systems in our brain. These systems control our habits and outlook, shaping our life in powerful but often invisible ways. Every failure, bad habits, self-doubt, or insecurity we experience has its roots in this current self. These patterns are deeply embedded within us, acting as silent architects of our reality. In order to truly break free and align ourselves with our goals, we have to fundamentally alter these subconscious systems, reprogramming our brain to act in harmony with the identity of our ideal self. One critical element in overcoming this hurdle is understanding the subconscious mind. Most of our thoughts and actions operate on autopilot, guided by ingrained beliefs and patterns in our subconscious. If the current self, with its limiting beliefs and habits, continues to rule our mind, progress becomes elusive like an iceberg, where the visible tip is only a small fraction of its mass. Our conscious efforts are just a fraction of what shapes our lives. To make a real shift, we need to get control over our conscious mind, which is a more limited but crucial part of our mental framework. Cutting out distractions and focusing solely on actions that bring long-term value, rather than instant gratification, is key. Additionally, it's essential to keep our surroundings supportive of this goal. People, activities, and influences that pull us away from our path to the ideal self should be minimized, no matter how harsh that may seem. This process of cutting out short-term pleasures and removing toxic influences allows us to cultivate a mental environment where the ideal self can thrive. High-quality content, whether books, podcasts, or videos, should be the only type of input we allow, as these positive inputs will seep into our subconscious and aid in reprogramming. When distractions are eliminated and our conscious mind is fortified, we can make steady progress towards changing our subconscious blueprint, aligning it with the life we truly want to face, and manage the subconscious tendencies that can drag us down. Cultivating a mindful awareness is essential. Meditation is often misunderstood as a spiritual or mystical practice, yet it is one of the most practical tools we have. Far from being merely an exercise for monks on mountaintops, mindfulness meditation is about sharpening our conscious mind's ability to stay in the present, increasing our resilience against the autopilot responses of our subconscious. Practicing mindfulness strengthens our ability to recognize intrusive thoughts and emotions, helping us see them for what they are, remnants of the current self that we can reject and release, instead of identifying with. This approach not only creates mental clarity, but also breaks the subconscious grip on our behavior. Mindfulness is a shield that enables us to confront the subconscious resistance head-on by meditating regularly. We train our minds to pause, observe, and disengage from harmful patterns, helping us dismantle the negative thought cycles and habits. With each session, we increase our capacity to observe and release the emotional reactions that have previously held us back. This elevated awareness ultimately puts us in a position to resist the subconscious tactics and keeps us progressing towards the ideal self, rather than getting pulled back into old habits. Life is inherently filled with struggle. Regardless of the path you take, there is pain in staying stagnant, just as there is pain in growth. However, the pain of remaining in the current self is often deceptive. It's subtle and slow, building gradually over time. It might only become apparent in later years when you look back and see missed opportunities and unfulfilled dreams. The discomfort of change, on the other hand, is immediate and requires conscious effort to push through. This resistance to growth is why many people fail to move forward, and why even when they're aware of their potential, they remain stuck in familiar routines and comforts. By heightening the perceived pain of staying the same, we can leverage the subconscious to our advantage. The subconscious mind doesn't differentiate between real and imagined scenarios. So by visualizing in detail the consequences of failing to change, we can create a mental and emotional reaction that fuels our desire to improve. Writing down the consequences of not changing as vividly as possible makes it feel more real and personal, creating a sense of urgency. Each time we review this vision, it strengthens the drive to act, motivating us to escape the current self and pursue transformation with even greater tenacity. The closer we get to truly transforming ourselves, the stronger the subconscious resistance becomes. At this stage, the mind throws every possible distraction and excuse to keep us from change, tempting us to slip back into comfort and complacency. This is the point at which most people lose momentum, mistakenly believing they've reached enough progress or feeling too challenged to push further. But this is precisely when we must double down, facing the resistance with unwavering persistence. Each time the mind resists a task or pushes us toward instant gratification, we must do the opposite: extend the work session. Resist the urge to stop early or choose growth over easy pleasure. This tactic, while extreme, is necessary for breaking down the resistance within by consistently doubling down on what the subconscious resists. We teach it that its tactics are counterproductive, effectively training it to no longer interfere with our progress. Although this approach is intense and may not be sustainable forever, it's a powerful, temporary strategy for forcing our current self to retreat, allowing the ideal self to take control. Over time, our mind learns that resisting growth only results in more work or discomfort, thus weakening the resistance and paving the way for lasting transformation.